Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading, and I want to chat today about what I feel the three elements of a good Forex trade are. What represents a good trade? And it's not going to be secret sauce, technical analysis, or anything like that. This is the real scoop of what you should look at when you're sitting down at the trading desk before you hit bid-ask. The three elements of a good Forex trade are that it is purposeful, reasonable, and achievable. Let's take each one of those and shortly go over it. Purposeful, what do I mean by that? From my well over 50 years in the martial arts, where we don't just study punching and kicking, but the philosophy of life itself, and to live our lives purposefully, with intent. Not just to get up out of bed in the morning, head off to work, satisfy your requirements so you can get paid, get up Saturday morning, cut the grass, get up Sunday morning, do whatever you're going to do, and Monday morning you start all over again. You do important things, but perhaps they're not purposeful. Trading needs to be purposeful because it's an activity that you don't have to do. Nobody's telling you to do it. It's something that you choose to do. The problem is that if you're choosing to do it because you think it's an easy way that you can make money, you will fail. You can't just, I need a piece of artwork for my wall, so I'll get out a bunch of watercolors and I'll paint a painting because I need to have a painting. Well, first of all, you're not going to be very good at it because you're not interested really in it. You're interested in the result, but you're not interested in doing the work or being purposeful about the pursuit that you're undergoing. And so I think purposeful is the first one. You have to have a reason for trading other than it's going to make you a lot of money in a simple way. It is simple, but it won't be simple for you because you're not interested in it. You're not trading for the proper reasons. A purposeful trader sits down at the trading desk to interact with the psychological hopes, fears, and greeds of the entire population of this terrific $6.7 trillion a day market. And your purpose in that market is to prevail where others fail. And because the statistics are that 90% of the people that start retail Forex trading fail, it means that all that lost money goes to the 10% who prevail. And those 10%, I'll guarantee you, are purposeful. The second element is reasonable. That the trade is reasonable. Even an experienced trader can't sit down and say, I'm going to make 40 pips today. That's not reasonable. Oh, I got an NFP coming up and I know that there's going to be 100 plus swing on the 15-minute candle. And so I'm going to put my limit order buys or sells on either side of where the price is 2 minutes before the news is released. And whichever one goes, I'll bump out at 40 pips. Really? That's not reasonable. Is it reasonable that you're going to expect that you're going to win every day? Is it reasonable that you're going to expect a win rate of 80%? Is it reasonable? Oh, and I'm going to count that because I have a daily win rate of 83%. So is that unreasonable then? No, because I have the experience behind that. And I know how to work. I know how to work the crowd in order to have an 83% daily win-to-loss ratio and an 18% failure rate. So reasonable has to do with your ability. If you're just starting out in trading, you've got a couple of years of trading, maybe 100 trades. If you listen to these fools that are saying just trade up on the daily chart, you won't have 100 trades that way. You'll be 25 or 30 trades, which is nothing. A scalper will do 25 trades in a day, and they'll learn a lot. You won't learn anything. So is it reasonable for you to say, as a beginning or intermediate trader with a couple of years experience, oh, I'm going to get 40 pips today, 50 pips today? No, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter whether you're trading on a daily chart where your profit target might be 300 or 400 pips away. You're still not going to get 40 pips today. What's reasonable? 5 pips is really reasonable. 10 pips maybe if you have some experience and you have a good foundation in position management, and that your entry analysis gets it off to the right start at the right time, so that you're not wasting so much time waiting for price to come to you, and then you bump into this cloud of order flow congestion and above you. So reasonableness. Oh, let me go back. Purposefulness comes from you. Reasonableness comes from your experience of crafting trading rules that are based on reasonable expectations and reasonable probabilities of what the market will offer, matched with your experience. And the third element of a good Forex trade is that it's achievable. I'm not talking about, oh, I achieved 10 pips today, I achieved 20 pips today. I talk about the purpose of the trading. Are you achieving the purposefulness of your trading, which is to sit down and become in harmony with the nature around you, such that the trading screen is just another environment. If you were a professional landscape person mowing people's grass, you're doing the same. You're running the same machine that I am as somebody who is not a professional, and yet that grass comes out really nice because that person is crafting. That's his craft, and he achieves success at the end of the day by being in harmony with the task at hand and his skill set in relationship to the job that he's decided to purposefully and reasonably approach. So is success in Forex trading achievable? Well, it is, because we see plenty of people that are successful. The caveat to that achievable element is, what's your definition of success? Is your definition a 15% a year overall return against your risk, being very, very conservative? Or are you more interested in having honed the skills of seeing great opportunities blossom within the market that you can take advantage of, perhaps by increasing your leverage, upping the number of lots that you trade at that particular time, pushing all the lots that you have on to the center of the table on that trade, because the opportunity, your experience identifies a tremendous opportunity, and your achievable success for the day is a 10x or a 5x of what is normal. So your definition of success is different based on your purposefulness and your reasonableness of what you're capable of doing. And that sets the stage for what you're achievable in being able to do. And you have to be happy and satisfied with that. If you're a day trader and your achievable success feeling within yourself is, I have to make 50 pips a day, you're not going to do that as a day trader. You might be able to make that as a scalper, but even that's very, very difficult. What can you do if you sat there for 24 hours, yeah, maybe you could make 50 pips. But at some point, you bank, and the third time you enter a new position, it doesn't go in your favor, and you lose half of what you made. That seems to be the characteristic of most traders. So that's why, from a day trading standpoint, we're trying to work the training that I provide in my fast track program and my consulting is that it's day trading that's reasonable for you to do, not day trading in that you're going to wake up in the morning, pick out what your trade for the day is going to be, make that trade, set your stops, and go off to work and come back and check the market at the end of the day. That's not day trading. Day trading is trading and being flat at the end of the day, okay? Well, if you're working, which 99% of the folks that are watching my videos and take my training are, you don't have 24 hours to trade. So your achievableness has to be reasonable. Even though you have a very purposeful approach, what can you achieve? Well, what's the time frame that I've spoken to many times in my videos that the Fast Track course is trying to prepare you for, to set the foundation, is that your expectation is you're only going to have a couple hours in the morning to trade. Look, if you don't have a couple hours to do that, then you shouldn't be trading. I think a couple hours is a short period of time. And you need to be really good in order to achieve that. You're going to replace your job income by trading 2 hours a day. That's the goal. That's the rule structure that I'm trying to lay out for people. Is that achievable? Yes, it is achievable. But you have to be very purposeful, and your expectations of success have to be reasonable in that. So your success marker for the achievability that you're going to be counting on has to be gauged within what does my skill level provide me in that 2-hour time frame to be able to do, and is price action going to indicate that within a 2-hour period I'm going to be able to execute a trade which will accumulate enough pips within that 2-hour period of time that I have to hunt for the trade, I have to wait for it, I have to take it, I have to wait for it to mature, and then I have to get out and then head off to work. There's a whole series of elements that go into that 2-hour period of time. And so if you haven't found anything by the time you get 15 minutes getting ready to head off to work, then you head off to work. You don't do an anticipatory trade, which I don't know, 3 or 4 videos ago that I did, I talked a lot about the worst mistake that traders can make, and that's to make an anticipatory trade. So dealing in that 2-hour period of time is more certain for us that know what we're doing, because we're only going to be on deck 2 hours. And if it isn't going well for us, we pull the plug, we get out, we take a small loss, and we go to work. We don't try to go back in. However, if the forces of nature are aligned for us, and we see early on, I mean, you look in 2 hours, you're on a 5-minute chart. That's what your trading chart is. You're looking at maybe the 1 or the 4 hour to make some multiple time frame analysis judgments for input to the rule, your entry analysis rule. You may be setting your stops and your limit orders and stuff up on a 15-minute time frame, but you're actually trading on a 5-minute time frame. You're making decisions based on that 5-minute ATR and the differential between the ATR and what the actual candle distance has been to take the trade. If you're on a 5-minute chart, you have 12 decisions an hour to make as to whether you're going to get in, get out, push back, whatever you're going to do. I mean, you could do it mid-candle too, but I'm just saying that if you're using the candle break periods, you have 12 an hour, which means you have 24 opportunities to make a trade decision. You may get down to 15 minutes before you have to close up, and you're looking, and all of a sudden the momentum and that changes. And I teach this stuff in my Fast Track course. If you're interested in what goes on in that course and stuff, send me an email. I'd be happy to chat with you. And I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm retired. I'm not running a training program. I don't have the bandwidth to teach 100 people. I don't just put this thing up on Teachable and you go and you read 42 modules and watch 8 videos. I work with you personally. I'm investing hours of my time to work with you because I'm invested in your success. And so therefore, when I'm working with folks in the Fast Track program, it's to give them not only the structural environment to be successful at trading and making decisions on that 5-minute increment basis, but they are purposeful in what they're doing, and that they have the proper success achievable goals within those time frames. And one of the factors of entry analysis is, does the price action at the particular time that your entry rule is signaling a potential trade, is that price action demonstrating enough momentum to carry that trade for the number of pips that you have between where you are and where you're going to get out? Is there a 20 or 30 pip distance, a real estate distance, so that price can go up and maneuver around and then go up and grab whatever your profit target is? If it's too close and the market is not ready to get there, it will go back against you. It acts as a magnets repelling each other. We'll talk a lot about this in the Fast Track course. Again, if you have questions about this and whether you'd be a fit for it, you have to send me an email so that I can get to know you and we can communicate, because not everybody qualifies to take the course, because I don't have the time to deal with people who aren't purposeful, reasonable, or are setting achievable goals. Now, I understand I have to teach you that, but I can help you with that in a conference so that if you don't have those skills, I can work with you on that and you don't have to buy anything from me. I'll just talk to you about what's going on. And someday when you're ready, maybe you'll come back and say, hey, I'd like to take a course from you. But I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm trying to help you. Nobody was there to help me when I started. It was all this foolish Bollinger Band and Fibonacci and all this crap that's out there, and the ball caps on backwards, driving the Lambo, 25-year-old multimillionaire trader. It was all that crap. That stuff is not helpful. Understanding the three elements of a good Forex trade, purposefulness, reasonableness, and achievability, are. And so even though you may be 15 minutes before you have to head off to work, if you've done the proper preparation, then you can determine that that price at that particular time has increased its momentum, such that, the last 4 trades that I've done that have been successful or have been failures have all achieved that distinction within about 4 minutes of the trade actually triggering off. And it's nice when you can make 0.8% or 1.25% or whatever in a minute or 2 minutes, because you got the timing right, the when component. What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? And when do I need to do it? Again, those are elements that are discussed in the Fast Track program. What do I need to know? How do I implement what I know? And when do I do that? If I was going to plant a garden, which is the example that I always say, and I mentioned in the Fast Track course, I got to know what a shovel is. I got to know what the seeds are. I got to know what the soil is and the composition of it. I got to know all that what. And I got to know how to use the shovel and how to plant the seeds and how to water it. But if I plant the garden in the winter, I'm not going to be successful. I got the when part right. If you don't have the when part, you can know all the what, you can know all the how, but you will not be successful. And nobody out there teaches the when part because they didn't get that from their experience in trading. A lot of them just got that experience by losing. Well, that's fine if you have the financial wherewithal to lose 10 or 12 or 14 times, and then all of a sudden you get it. But are they going to be able to teach you? I'm a professional educator. I've been teaching martial arts for 57 years. I'm meeting with a student who's been with me for 45 years for lunch today. So I think I know a little bit about teaching important stuff and how that stuff should be organized. And the foundation of all that are the 3 elements of a good Forex trade: purposefulness, reasonableness, and achievability. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.